Now, I'm honored to introduce our first guest. The first guest for tonight is Ady Barkan, one of the nation's most powerful voices for healthcare for all. Ady Barkan is an activist who a few years ago was diagnosed with a debilitating and terminal illness, ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. Since his diagnosis, he has gradually lost his voice, gradually lost his motor control, but he hasn't let it silence him. He has traveled the nation protesting the Republican tax law, protesting the Republican attacks on healthcare, and campaigning for healthcare for all. If you haven't heard him before, I want to let you know you're about to meet someone special. Over the last few months, Ady has lost his ability to speak. We filmed this interview in advance. Ady uses eye tracking technology to write letter by letter on a computer screen, and a computer voice speaks for him. The voice is artificial, but his words are as powerful as ever. Let's roll the video. Ady, thanks so much for joining us for the WFP Assembly. Let's just get right into it. So after getting such a tragic diagnosis, Ady, it would have been easy, even understandable, to just retreat inward and spend your time with friends and family. What gave you the strength to devote so much of your time and energy and creativity to activism?
Thanks very much for inviting me to join this assembly, Maurice. It is really wonderful having your leadership at the WFP, and I am proud to be in the struggle with you. I think I have 3 answers to your question. First, I very much did turn inward after my diagnosis. I took a 3 months leave from work, and even after I returned, I was much less active than before the diagnosis. I spent lots of good quality time with friends and family. It actually wasn't until December 2017, more than a year after my diagnosis and nearly a year into the Trump regime, that I first engaged in civil disobedience and then bumped into Jeff Flake on that airplane. Second, what gave me the strength to resist was that I had comrades and institutions there to help me do the work. The Center for Popular Democracy Action and the WFP and others made it easy to plug in and do high-impact resistance working in solidarity with others. There was a plan, there were supports in place. So I knew my time would be well spent. Third, in fighting back against Trump, I stumbled upon a little secret. Activism doesn't take energy, it creates energy, it energizes. Rather than sit at home and be angry at ALS, I was out in the streets making productive use of my time and my story. That made me feel alive and empowered and even liberated from my personal tragic circumstances, because I became part of something bigger than myself.
Well, thank you, Ady. Thank you so much again for all your sacrifice, and thank you for that beautiful explanation of your journey. So I want to ask you another question. A little bit more recently, you went to DC, and so what was it like to travel to Washington recently to give testimony at the congressional hearing for Medicare for All?
It was a great trip. Never before in my life had people written articles previewing a speech I was going to give, so I definitely felt that it was worth the effort. It certainly took a major effort. I needed 2 aides to travel with me, and even though we splurged on business class seats, it was a painful and very uncomfortable flight. But when I was on Capitol Hill, I felt surrounded by comrades and allies. It really feels like we were making progress that week, advancing the argument that America needs and deserves a single-payer healthcare system. And it was so fun to get to see and strategize with many of my heroes, like AOC, and Bernie, and Elizabeth Warren, and Ilhan Omar. Even John Lewis came by to say hello, which kinda left me speechless.
That had to be an amazing experience, and I, like many others, watched your testimony and was just really proud to call you a friend and a comrade. So thank you for that. Thank you for your for all the uncomfortability and sacrifice it took to get from your home to DC. I know that there were thousands and thousands of people rooting you on. So just again, thank you. Another question, and we're almost done. What's something unexpected these last few years that an unexpected lesson about democracy, about activism, about celebrity, or just anything else?
Well, it's been a pretty tumultuous few years for all of us in America, and for me and my family in particular. Rachel gave birth to our son Carl in May of 2016, and our personal world really felt perfect. Then I was diagnosed with ALS in October and Donald Trump was elected in November. And then the next year, folks all around the country built up a powerful resistance and I suddenly gained a prominent voice within that movement. So, basically, everything about these last few years has been unexpected for me. And what I have learned, I suppose, is that we don't know what tomorrow will bring. The best we can do is to struggle together, today, in sisterhood and brotherhood, and with a generosity of spirit towards each other and the work. We are privileged to be here right now, and we shouldn't let the opportunity go to waste.
Thank you so much for those words. Thank you so much for those lessons. That just hit me really hard. I think I needed to hear that right now. So Ady, again, I don't want to take up too much of your precious time, and I just want to, on behalf of the Working Families Party, on behalf of the movement, I want to thank you for everything that you're doing at this stage of your life, contributing to the movement and making us all stronger. So what we'd like to do, we ask this question at the end of all of our featured guest interviews. And so I'd like to leave with one question, Ady. Will you join us as a member of the Working Families Party?
Maurice, I am proud to say that I have been a sustaining $20 a month member of the party for about 8 years now. I can't imagine a better way to invest in the future for my son Carl and his whole generation.
Right on. Thank you. Thanks so much, brother, and God bless. Wow, I'm still in awe just watching that recording of Ady and how much he's given to the fight. And so I just want to, again, thank Ady, thanks his family, his friends, and his support network that supports him in the work that he's doing. Now, upon hearing that, if you'd like to join Ady in taking action to win Medicare for all, you could do this right now. Or if you don't have the ability to text right now, write this down. Just text the word Medicare, it's MEDICARE, one word, to the number 738674, right? So you could do this right now. You could, just take out your phone and open the text app, and where you have to text to a particular number. The number that you text to is 738674. So that's the phone number you text to. And in the chat box, simply text the word Medicare. And then we'll connect you with the folks who are currently taking action to win Medicare for all and supporting all of Ady's work there. Also, Ady has recently written a very powerful memoir called Eyes to the Wind, which will come out this fall. So stay tuned for an email from us so you could learn how to pre-order your copy of Ady's memoir. So let's